Y'all got a lot of new followers on here, and I have not uploaded for a minute. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna upload today because I should have read this message this email weeks ago. But you know me, I get sidetracked and I start doing adding too much shit on my plate. Then I can't eat it all, and then I get overwhelmed, and I'm like. So thank y'all for all the new people that are here that have came from TikTok. I got a lot of new followers on TikTok. I appreciate you. If you happen to see a kid come in, they're sleeping, but if you happen to see them come in, I just want you to know that I did not kidnap them. They're actually my nephews that always want to stay the night here, but I don't know why, because I don't have any kids and it's boring as shit, but they just like to stay here. They were actually up all night long. When I got up at when I was woke up at 4 or something, they were still up playing the game. So they probably just went to sleep. So they'll probably sleep for the rest of the day, which is fine with me. Hallelujah. So what I do here is just real. I'm not editing. I really don't have an intro unless you want me to make you some music like dun da da da. Thank you for coming to. Is it coming? Thank you for subbing to Crazy Alex. If you don't know me, I started YouTube before I started TikTok, but then I blew up on TikTok before anybody even knew me over here on YouTube. So from TikTok, you can find me on all social media platforms except for Facebook because that shit is messy. You can find me as Crazy Alex. I do give people that follow me the option to email me. I'll put my email, all of that down below. I be forgetting. And if you want to email me, whatever's going on in your life, I can give you my advice. But y'all, please remember that I'm not a doctor or a psychologist or whatever it is. I'm not one of those people. And my advice is, I don't even have kids, okay? So my advice is just advice. That's it. That's it. That's all. It's not professional or nothing like that. But I'm just here to give my views. And then I ask that people give their opinions or, whatever down in the bottom. Is it the comments? Yes, down in the comments. I just ask that everybody love each other here. Everybody be respectful. Respect everybody's opinion. Even if you don't agree with it. We're all adults. And we can respect opinions. We don't have to agree to love each other. To be cool. It's cool. My friend, she loves her baby daddy. I hate him, but I still love her. We don't have to agree. Okay? Alright? And I'm not talking about Tip because I'm pretty sure she'll watch this. So this is going to be really long. For the people that love to watch me and hear me talk, you're in for a treat today because this is really long. This is the person that I met on TikTok. They emailed me. I will not be saying their name in this email, but they're asking for advice from me and from the people that follow me. So I'll be reading this out. I'll be stopping in between the letter just to give my insight. Again, I don't have kids, but this is advice on her child. Not gonna read her name, okay? So yeah, if you want a long video, ta-da, surprise, put me on your TV and just grab you some popcorn, girl, and chill. Because the only guys that I really watch is Snack King. That really watch me here, I'm pretty sure it's Snack King Cole. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Snack King because he does what the fuck do you do? What am I looking for? Oh, he reviews food items. Whatever you have a request, let him know. If you want to send him items to his P.O. box, I've done that before. I need to send him some more things, but I sent him a dirt soda, a grass soda, salt and vinegar crickets, stuff like that. Stuff that nobody regular would eat. And I don't know why I did him like that, but I did, okay? And if you want to send him something, I'm going to put his name down there as well, y'all. I don't know how to do a lot of this stuff, but y'all make sure y'all follow Snack King. Bargain Beauty. Make sure you follow her because she is somebody that really supports me. She's a big YouTuber on here. Got all the deals you want. So make sure you hit up Bargain Beauty. I'm off today, but I'm spending my day with you, okay? You, and you. Alright? So be thankful. Alright, y'all. So this is the letter I received. Again, you can put whatever comments in the comment section. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. Just do it respectfully because I don't want to have to come find you and whoop that ass. Okay? Thank you. Okay. Back in December, my daughter began dating someone in the military. They were chatting prior to making it official for a month or so. Within the first few weeks of them dating officially, I like how this person knows where to put the commas and stuff. It looks so professional. I don't know how to do that. He received orders to be deployed. When I met him the first time, I knew instantly that he was already in love with her. and her with him without voicing it. When he got deployed, she told him she loved him. I was like, oh shit, shaking my head. Now, mind you, they had only been going out officially a few weeks when all of this happened. As a single mom, I tried putting myself in each of my kids' place in certain things. I'm so glad that you're that type of mama. I'm really glad. I also tried being neutral with some things. From the get-go, the relationship was toxic. I would have whooped his ass. Constantly accusing one another of seeking other people. Aw. It was both of them at first. I told her to pretty much stop accusing unless you have proof. That was good, mama. Take things slow, get to know one another, etc. If they aren't arguing about something stupid from where to go eat to even his common accusing my daughter, accusing my daughter of having relationships with several other people in his unit. Oh, Lord. I hate that as teenagers coming up, and I'm not trying to, look, don't take this the wrong way, because I am trying to call your daughter dumb, because I was dumb. We were all dumb at that age, okay? We thought we knew everything. We did not know everything. The first thing that I want to say before I get any further into this letter is, y'all, as parents out here, and again, I'm not a parent, but as parents out here, please understand you can raise your child, but sometimes the way you raise your children doesn't like reflect into their adult life. So I don't want you to automatically assume that you did something wrong. There's like people that have children that grow up to be serial killers. Like, you don't, how is people ain't out here just raising serial killers, you know what I mean? Like, that's just something that happens in your adult life. So please, y'all, whatever goes on with your kids, they're going to go through this stage where they know everything, where they hate you, where y'all are not friends. I did that with my mama, like 17 to like 21. She didn't know what the hell she was talking about. She had no idea. She was old. She could never tell me, like, I'm grown. Don't tell me I was a spoiled brat, y'all. I'm pretty sure she is so proud that I grew the fuck up. It only took me like 26 years, 27 years to finally get my shit together, but I did. I probably would have got it together sooner, but I didn't have kids, so I didn't have a reason. I thought I was the shit, you know. Please don't blame yourself. Anybody that's watching this, please do not blame yourself if your children grow up and then they end up in jail or they do this. Like, please don't blame yourself, okay? And I get so mad. I say it sometimes, like, who raised y'all? But I mean that, like, manner-wise. I don't mean that, like, you know, y'all know what I'm saying. Anyways, then it would be something else. Very codependent of one another. They would be on the phone all the time or texting. I think that's like a teenage thing. If they weren't at my house, which I completely regret ever allowing him to stay in my house. Then they were at the barracks. What does that mean, girl? She began drinking heavily. Oh, God. And I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't even know she had an alcohol problem until the recent blow up. She had been smoking one of the Mara cigarettes and taking acid. Her personality began to change rapidly beginning of January or so. And y'all, again, I like to say I'm not a professional because y'all don't have me up in somebody's courtroom because I'm like a donkey. I think when people go to like harder drugs like acid and stuff, because in my last relationship I dealt with someone that was addicted to cocaine really bad, and that is not that person. Like, when they're on that, they're like a completely different person. So again, I think that is when you get to a point where you feel like you don't know them anymore. I feel like that's drugs taking over. Just want to let you know that. In March, we had our first blowout. She wanted to go away for a month to visit his family. I told her no. She could go for a few weeks, but she had a job, which she lost last month, studying for ASVAB, and my health isn't good. Unfortunately, I depended on her more than I realized. With the blowout, she left for a few days, and I had no idea where she was staying. I repeatedly asked her to come back so we can talk and come to some agreement. It's not I didn't want her to have a life, but I saw red flags from the get-go and was trying to protect her, save her from pain, etc. I also want y'all to know that, and this is just from experience, like my mom being the greatest mom, even though I always joke and I'm like, girl, I'm calling DHS on you. My mom was a really good mom. but I had my point in life where I knew everything. My relationships were toxic, especially when I was dealing with somebody that was addicted to cocaine. It was really toxic. My mom used to beg me to come home. She used to tell me how she would have these dreams that he like smothered me in my sleep. Like, it was really toxic, the things that we went through, y'all. Like, there were times where we would fight, and when I mean fight, it was like real legit fight. Like, I remember him picking up a shovel one day, and he was about to hit me across my head with this shovel, y'all. And I used to keep a thing of mace on my keys. I can't remember why. God, well, nobody but God. But I pulled the mace off of my keys because I had my car on. So I reached in and snatched them off. And then I used that whole thing of mace and I sprayed him. And then I ran on the porch to get a hammer to come back and hit him across his head. I know this sounds really toxic, and it is. That's why I'm telling y'all this. And this is when I was young and when I was really dumb. So, yeah. I understand what you're saying here. Because, again, y'all, I don't know what that is, okay? I went through this, okay? That's just where my advice is coming from. I went through it. There's nothing that you can say right now to her that's going to make her think that you know what you're talking about. It's just a situation that she is going to have to go through and she's going to have to learn from. The more you tell her how much you hate it or this or that, the more she's going to push away from you. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's not like support her, but it's kind of like a tough love in a way. Like, it's hard. People always tell me you don't understand because you don't have kids. Because I always tell them when their kids do stuff to them, like, I've had people, you know, in my life that are like, well, my son started hitting me and stuff like that. Like, you don't, and I was like, why do you keep doing for him? Cut him off. Don't do nothing for him. Don't pay this. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hit his ass back. Like, no. And then they're like, that's my child. Y'all beat your children's ass. Okay? If they hit you, like, don't let your children run over you. I'm sorry, and I know a lot of people ain't gonna agree with that on here, but 33 years of living, never, ever, 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 and I'm not exaggerating, have I ever lifted a hand to act like I was gonna hit my mama. I don't know if it's because she scared the shit out of us all the time, but never have I ever. Never. But I was the person that thought I knew everything, and I would get so upset with my mama that I did not want to talk to her, and I would just run away for weeks at a time. And I was like, girl, I don't need you. But then guess what? Guess who would be there in the end? It would always be my mama. But the more she told me she hated the boyfriend, guess what? I didn't want to be around. I don't want to hear that shit. So I had to learn that on my own. And it comes. I promise you it comes. Now, I did not get into drugs, get addicted to anything. I don't know if that would be a harder to deal with, especially at that age. I don't really know, but I know dealing with the drug addict, it was really hard for me. And they would say they would stop, but they would not stop. Then I would tell them, you need treatment. And then they would be like, oh, I don't want to go to treatment right now. I could stop on my own. But it was always something. It was like a narcissist behavior. Like, it was always my fault. Everything would always come back on me. Let me get back to a story. Eventually, she came back. We talked. We worked through it. Not even 3 weeks later, another blow up happened. They asked me if they could go to an Airbnb for the weekend with half of his company, who accused her of sleeping with married people, ruined a barbecue, wives, harassing her repeatedly through phone and social media. If she asked you, could she go? Oh, okay, let me get finished. I told her I didn't think it was a good idea. She was supposed to be one of 4 females who were supposed to be there. Finding out only 2 women went, from who were invited, while others had side pieces. The place was already paid for by several of the parties. I was like, look, this isn't a good scenario or anything for you to be in. This has got to the point where you have him calling, stalking you. He would take her phone away and go through it. I didn't want her going there, even if it wasn't far or anything. That night, they all went out clubbing and got drunk. She was drunk. Calls me, telling me one of the soldiers tried something, and they all got into it at the club. Then they go back to the rental, and another incident happens. They were all cooking, BSing, etc. when one of the soldiers called her something. Yet again, another altercation happened between them all. After the weekend, they began putting her boyfriend on details, shit jobs, harassing him to break up with her. That she was sleeping around, not a good girl, just a side chick, no one to take seriously. The day she came home crying, saying they were over yet again, they broke up like 500 times already, that he had accused her and believed everything the soldiers were saying. We had a long talk, and I thought was really going to, oh, You thought she was really going to take it. I read that wrong. You know, instead the kid shows up at my house by a lift with no words, no permission. Again, I allowed them to talk. Girl, you got to put that foot down. That's your house. You pay the bills. You said that she lost her job, so therefore she wasn't helping you. So guess what? This is my house. Don't bring your ass here. If you bring your ass back, I'm calling the police. And daughter, if you want to get smart with me, you know what? Sit your ass down, or you can go with them. And I'm telling y'all, this is how my mama would have did it. Again, I allowed them to talk, but made it clear I didn't want any more shit happening, because then we would have a different problem. This whole time, I had no idea that she didn't have an active license. She was drunk a lot, excessively drinking, driving my car and others. She dyed her hair 4 different colors before landing on the last one. She got numerous tattoos without my permission. That was me too. I used to get a lot of tattoos. She was asking for money, saying it was for one thing, but would spend it on liquor or tattoos or him or fast food. About mid-July, things changed. She took my vehicle without an active license and went 2 hours away. My mama would have put them hands on me. She would have put them hands on me right in front of the police. I woke up from a nap to find this all out. Immediately, I reported my car stolen. It was so embarrassing explaining how my child took my car without permission. It just so happened that I had her license on me, gave it to the officer. When he ran it, he informed me that it was suspended for failure to show in court. It had been suspended for over a year. Now I look stupid and shit in front of the officer because I had no clue it was. When she went to court last year, she told me she had paid the fine and that her boyfriend did it. Everything was good. Clearly not. From there, my car was located in Chapel Hill with her and 4 others in my car. The car was towed and she was cited for driving without an active license. Court date was immediately given to her for the 28th of August. This was it. I was done. From her behavior towards me and her siblings to her lack of work and taking my car, I had more than enough. I grounded her and told her to get it together. That night, she snuck out, went to Ohio with him for almost 2.5 weeks without my permission. She calls me from Ohio again. We get into I told her to come back as soon as possible, that she didn't have permission, and yet she refused to. She told me she'd been gone for a few weeks and be back good as new. I didn't care. She didn't have permission, and I have 2 other kids as well. She needed to come home. July the 26th, I returned from out of state. That morning, I get a call from one of her siblings that she wasn't home. She had gotten drunk the night prior to early morning, woke up her siblings to ask for them to speak with her boyfriend. Apparently, they had broken up on the flight back from Ohio. She was completely wasted. I get home around 9 a.m. to her waiting in a few minutes prior to me. I called for her to come in my room to speak to her. When she came in, her face was flushed, so I thought she had been crying. No good morning. How are you? How was your flight? How was your trip? Etc. I was met with glares and smirks. My mama would have smacked her. I'm telling you, my mama don't care, baby. My mama threw a brick at their head. But I ain't saying my mama beat me. Like, I probably remember like 2 whoopings, but my mama ain't playing this shit right here. My mama not playing that. And then when she get on my ass, I said, I'm gonna call the police. Guess what? My mama handed me the phone, said call the ambulance too, baby, because you're gonna be dead for they get here. They're gonna have to bring you back. Asking her what's wrong, she proceeded to answer me nothing, but wouldn't look at me. I'm telling you, girl, I know a lot of people try to be their children's best friend, but that is like the worst thing you could do. Like, you literally have to put your foot down. If you want to keep sneaking out of this house, you want to keep running off like you're grown, you're an adult, keep your ass there. Don't call me again. Like, I understand people say as parents, like, we can't just cut them off like that. Like, we have to make sure that everything is okay. Look. When she do this type of shit right here, you should have told her, you can get everything you got, and you can get your ass right back out of my house. My mama put my brother out. He was probably like 14. Like, my mom was getting on him. I can't remember what she was getting on him for, but he was the only one out of all 3 of us that ever stood up to my mama like he was about to hit her. And when I tell y'all my mama acted a donkey, and he had to get his stuff and get out right then. Wasn't no talking. He was like 14. He had to get out. My mama put him out. He sat on the front porch. He had to call like his aunt or somebody to come pick him up. She had to come pick him up. And guess what? My mama did not call and check on him or nothing. He called my mama like 3 weeks later apologizing like that was the last time. It probably wasn't even 3 weeks. It was like 2 weeks. That was the first time and the last time that he ever acted a donkey with my mama like that. Like, my mama did not play that shit. People will always want to say, like, And I'm pretty sure there's people on here listening to me that always want to say, like, oh my God, that's so abusive. Like, my mama didn't play that. You're not finna run over me in my house. If I tell you no, it's no. And I'm not playing with you. You're not finna stay here and be disrespectful. Go stay with your grandmama. Go stay with your auntie. Go stay with your uncle. I don't give a damn. My mom didn't play that, y'all. She didn't play it. I was asking her what was wrong, proceeded to answer me nothing but wouldn't look at me. Again, I asked her what is wrong because I just got home from driving 7 hours straight and she didn't say a word to me. I came in, I hadn't seen her for almost 3 weeks. Again, she said nothing but refused to look at me. I asked her where did she disappear to for almost 6 hours. We were worried. She tells me not to worry about her, that she is none of my business. And if you are none of my business, then I don't need to worry about you. Stop thinking that you can run back here. You could treat me like shit. You could treat your siblings like shit. You get your stuff with your grown ass, and you get out and you go back to where you came from. You're not going to do me like that. And again, I know that you're trying to be like this supportive parent, and you're trying to be supportive, and you don't want to be that person that gives tough love, and you want her to know that she can always come there and you'll always have her. But at the same time, I feel like that's why she keeps doing that to you. Like, I can go back whenever I want to. I could treat my mama like shit and go back. I knew that I couldn't do that. I might cuss my mama out of my head, call her B words, like when I walk out of the room, but never, ever, ever did I disrespect my mama like that, just because I knew my mama was coming with them hands. Like, she wasn't playing that. You getting out of my house. Like, when I was dealing with my guy that had, like, the drug addiction, I wanted, like, lights, water, everything got turned off at the house we were staying at because it was just that bad, and he couldn't keep the bills paid. And, like, I was like, oh my God, I'm so in love with him. I'm just going to give him all of my money and let him go and do what he needs to do. Then we fell out, fell down, like, got really hard to get out of that hole. Wanted to go back to my mama's house. My mom was like, look, my mom, I'm telling y'all, my mom, I done said it 1,000 times because I can't stress enough. My mama didn't play that shit. Okay? So, we go back to my mama's house. My mama like, look, first time some shit happens, like, it's over with. So, we got into it. He left. I didn't hear from him that whole entire night. I didn't know where he was, nothing. My mom was like, where he at? She tried not to be in my business, but at the same time, I'm living in her house. So she was like, where he's at? I was like, I don't know. I haven't heard from him, blah, blah, blah. The next day, I didn't hear from him. He must have came to my house. It had to be like 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock, like 2 days later. And then my mama was like, you gotta be quiet. My mama, shh, be quiet. So, he was like, I needed a break or something, blah, blah, blah. And then my mama got up because she heard him. She was like, look, he not coming in this house. My mama flat out tell me. My mom was like, he not coming in this house. I was like, but, he needs somewhere to stay. My mom was like, no, he stayed where he stayed last night. I was like, he don't have nowhere to stay. He said this, he said that. My mom's like, are you that stupid? He been out cheating on you. That's why I say my mama act like she really godly, but my mama was, she ain't play that shit, y'all. But she's like, he been out cheating on you, and now he want to run here. When the girl through with him, like, he want to run here. Like, no, how dumb are you, Alex? I was like, I'm not dumb. I love him. I love. So my mama went outside. He was drunk. My mama went outside. She was like, look, you're not finna stay here. Call your mama. Call whoever you need to call to come pick you up or get back where you was from walking. But you're not coming in my house. So him and my mom got into it. And my mama pushed him. And she was like, look, I will beat your ass. You need to go on about your business. So when my mom came in the house, she was like, call his mama to come get him. He was outside acting a fool. My mom was like, if I get put out this house, like, I'm whooping your ass and his ass. So it's really hard, but you really got to put your foot down and let her know, like, you're not finna disrespect my house. Like, don't give him another chance. I know you keep on saying, like, he keep on coming back, and then it's like, oh my God, if you live under my roof, you follow my rules. I pay these bills. You're not helping me. You're not gonna disrespect me. You're not gonna disrespect your siblings. What I say goes. If you don't like it, go back to where you came from. You got to be that parent that gives them tough love. You got to. Like, at the end of the day, when we go through that situation, 17, 18, 16, wherever we at, when we feel like you don't know nothing as a parent, I promise you, in the end, now my mom's like my best friend. Now I'm raising my mama. Like, now I have to get on my mama's ass. Like, what is wrong with you, lady? Want to go to Nigeria and shit? Okay. she said was none of her business. Now, my jaw dropped. Smacked. I would have been smacked. I'm like, what the fuck? What just happened here? So I call her again to come in my room. She doesn't answer. I must have called her like 8 or 9 times. Girl, you got to put her out. My son got up to go get her for me. She comes in my room while on the phone and says, yes, who pays the phone bill? If you pay the phone bill, take her damn phone. I asked her again, what is wrong with you? You don't say hi, good morning. You didn't ask how the trip was. You're not even looking at me when I speak. So I know something is wrong, baby. Girl, stop being nice to her. Cut out that nice. Cut it out. If she disrespect you, cut it out, y'all. And I know a lot of y'all sitting up here like, girl, you ain't got kids. You don't know. Cut it out. Cut it out. She tells me that nothing is wrong. Stop being psychotic. Oh, baby, my mama would have did like an exorcist head turn. Psychotic. I'm going to show you psychotic. My mama would have flipped. And walks out without saying anything. So I got out of my room to call her back and she refused. I said her name maybe 20 times or something and she still refused to come back to speak to me. Instead, I go to her room to find her calling me crazy. No life to someone on the phone. Phone would have been snatched and threw upside the wall, broke. I asked her who was she talking about like that. She tells, who was she talking about? Me. Who is she talking to about me like that? At least you can read, bro. She tells the person she has to go because of her psycho mom. Smacked. Now, I'm Latina and a mom, so that just pissed me off. Girl, ain't got nothing to do with Latino. Anybody. Girl. Immediately, I told her to hang up the phone, give it to me. Instead, she yells at me to get the fuck out of her room. Her life. I'm crazy, psychotic. I tried slamming the door on me. She hit my left side while trying to close it. Whew. Y'all, this why I ain't got kids. This why I ain't got kids, because God know I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to jail. My instinct was to catch the door because you don't pay for a mortgage or rent or anything, so you're not going to slam the door on me. Yes, ma'am. When I called the door after it hitting me, she then screams again to get the fuck out of her room, you stupid fucking bitch. I'm getting mad, and it ain't even my child. Girl, you do not talk to your mama like that. Your mama is the only person, if it's the child watching this for any reason, which I'm sure it ain't, y'all, your mama is the only person that's gonna have your back. I know right now, at whatever age you feel like she don't know nothing, she's just an old hag, but I promise you, at the end of the day, your mama's always gonna come through when nobody else is. And I feel like people take advantage of that. When in this situation, she gonna take advantage of that because she knows that mama gonna forgive her. That's why I say you gotta start giving tough love. You're not coming here. Yeah, I don't care where you been. I don't care that you ain't got nowhere to go. You been have somewhere to go. Like, you not coming here. If you decide to come here, it's rules. I'm telling you, no disrespect. You're not seeing that little boy again. If I catch you talking to that little boy or that man or whatever, you get right back out of my house. Like, I'm not playing this. You have got to give them tough love. I promise you, you do. And I swear my mom did not want to do it. Her friends used to tell her the same thing because I was this crazy person. I didn't cuss my mom out like that, but I'm just saying I was this crazy person. You're a loser. With no job, no husband, boyfriend, can't pay bills, girl, I'm telling y'all, my mama would have donkey konged my ass on top of my head because the police can't see the bruises up there. Then try slamming the door, this time on my forearm. My first reaction was to slap her. Yes, I did hit her because how she spoke to me. Again, she calls me a fucking bitch and chunks her phone at my head, busting my ear open. I slapped her and told her I don't care how old you are, you live under my roof. You will respect me, and everyone you need to leave. That's it. I had it. Good, girl. Good. Like, I hate that it gets physical because, again, there's a lot of people that's not going to agree with me. But I'm telling y'all, my mama, y'all, there's a lot of people say, oh my God, you're such a great person. This is how my mama raised me. Okay? They say, oh, don't whoop your kids. Don't do this. Don't do that. Girl. Like I said, my mom only got me a couple times, but my mom put that foot down. She not playing. What I say is what I mean. And if you don't like it, you're getting up out of here, find somewhere to go. I'm not playing with you. I would lock you out on my porch and you can sit there, call the popo. I don't care, because guess what? If you call the popo, foster care coming to get you. My first reaction, okay, I did that. She lunges towards me and punches me in my face, proceeds to punch me, scratch me, call me a loser, a hoe, a bad mom, no job, no one loves me, that I'm damaged. Call the police on her ass. Call the motherfucking police on her ass. She hates me. She grabs a suitcase, throws it on the living room floor, and begins to pack. Told her, awesome, because you will not speak to me like this in my home ever. She kept throwing slurs at me, from I hate you to you're the worst person ever. How can a loser raise anyone when they're not respected? That I'm a fucking bitch who needs help. At this point, I was crying. I couldn't breathe. I was in full-blown panic attack when she hit me with her suitcase. My arm began bleeding. My ear was bleeding. Had wounds, my chest, legs. I was over it. I literally picked her up and put her out. She turns around, hitting me again, but with her fist in a shopping bag. When she did that, I caught it and I threw it out the door. Bags break and there's a bottle of Captain Morgan and Fireball. I pick her suitcase up, throw it out the door. She turned around, hitting me again with one of the liquor bottles that fell. My nose busted open. I fell back immediately. My son closed the door and began tending to me. The following day, she went into the courthouse, pressed charges on me for assault, stealing her belongings, telling the judge I'm unfit. They granted her and her now financed protective order against me. She changed her last name to her middle name, opens up an account in her name, but has bills calling me. Tell them she don't live here. The states we're in right now is only because I sent her here for schooling. She was behind in numerous ways in school due to bullying, attempted suicide twice. I feel like there's something, like, the more I get into this, I feel like there is something that has happened. Maybe she hasn't discussed it with you, but there is something that is really, 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 really going on in here. I don't know if something happened to her, like, mentally or, like, sexually, but I feel like there's something that she's never told you about, and that is why she's acting out, or I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like there's something going on, and she does need some help, like, as far as therapy and stuff like that. We were in the state because of her. She graduated here because the family took her in on behalf and helped her for almost 2 years to get the grade level she needed to be in. My daughter is 20 now. At the time this happened, she was 19, still living and being supported by me. So I'm in the she's 19. Fog of pain and disappointment. She alienated the entire family. Friends began more lying, saying I was looking for her everywhere. She told the judge that I'm stalking her and I abused her all her life. She has gotten engaged to someone that's clearly toxic for her, but she went as far as changing our Netflix, Hulu, Prime profiles to all of his family like we never existed. This behavior, all of us, didn't happen until she met that guy. This is a person who has encouraged her to call the police on me, even in small arguments. She got engaged to someone no one is on board with. Almost everyone we know or have known since she was in my belly are completely blown away. They're shocked. This isn't the person I raised. I don't know who she is now. Unfortunately, I cannot have any contact with her for a year, but she and her fiance are harassing me via social media. I had to change my phone number too. In court, she refused to give me a hug prior to the paperwork and actually told her lawyer, why would she do anything for me when I have done nothing but cause her pain her entire life. I'm very lost, Alex. I have good days, I have bad days. Lately it's been bad, but I try to remain private and positive for myself and my kids. Unfortunately, there's too many involved and not happy about any of this. My mom, many people have said she will regret it later. She will. Maybe after I'm dead, but I don't believe it, Alex. She will. I promise you. I swear to you, she will. There's a point in life. Some of us get like really bad at that age, but I promise you, at this age, I thought I knew everything. I left home. I was trying to live with my boyfriend on my own. It was really toxic. Like, my mama had to put her foot down. Like, I'm not giving you no money. The only time you need to call me is if you're ready to come back. And when you come back, you will not have any contact with him. If you do have, like, I'm telling you, it's going to change. My mom, many people have said she will regret it later. I just don't know what, like, there's something that has went on. I don't know if there's, like, I don't want to say that. My mom, many people said she will regret it later. Maybe after I'm dead, but I don't believe it, Alex. Monday court date showed me a side of my daughter I've never seen before. She has so much contempt and anger towards that she refuses to even acknowledge I'm her mom. She tells people I'm a loser with no friends, family, etc. Sorry if this is a lot, but I am really having trouble understanding as to why this happened, as to what do I do now because of starting a business. She can hurt it and how to proceed. I never raised any of the kids to speak to me in any form or for her to assault me and have everything turned around on me. I just cannot comprehend any of this. I fought the school system in another state for almost a year for her. My first stroke was leaving the first hearing that day, and I have had 4 more since. Girl, you cannot, this is your child. You cannot let this take over your life. Like, you cannot let it take over your life again. I understand this is your child. You love this child, but sometimes you just have to put it in God's hands. Pray about it, put it in God's hands, and let that go. Because holding on to that anger and being upset and all that stuff, like, that is a lot. That is a lot. And you cannot do that to yourself. I don't care if it's your daughter. I don't care if it's your mama, your grandmama. You cannot do that to yourself. I don't know, mama. I'm just very lost and not myself. She was raised by me, and I feel like the reflects on me. No, she is acting. She is even calling his mom, and telling people she doesn't have a mom. Her fiance's family has taken her in. She can keep her ass there. And whenever he lets you down, I'm going to be there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, be there for her. That's your daughter. Be there for her. When the time comes, you already know this is a toxic relationship. I say keep your distance. Please don't let this. My shower curtain is not all the way over my backdrop. Oh, all the way over. Oh, my foot's moving stuff. Be there to support her, because in the end, I'm pretty sure all of this is going to come crashing down. As a mother, still be there to support her. Still, like, if the time comes, and I'm sure it will, when she needs to come back or she needs you to fall on, be supportive. Don't bring up the past. Don't ask her questions like why. Like, leave that in the past and move forward. Of course, you're going to have rules and stuff, but I promise you, especially if she has her own child, I promise you things are going to change, and she's going to hate that she did any of this. But I just feel like there's something that has happened in her life. I don't know if it's like something sexual, but there's something that has really happened in her life for her to act out like this bad, to where she's just, it's something. Her fiance's family has taken her in, and I don't even know these people from Adam. Any advice would help, please. I'm really tired and just lost. My mom, this is the second part. My mom, who has been the main one who's helped us since my strokes, has completely lost it. She's beyond angry, which she has every right to be. We would be on the streets or something if it weren't for her. Throughout our lives, we've been blessed to have family and friends to help out when needed. My kids were never brought up with what they wanted, but instead what they needed. I was a mother, a father to all three. My fault, my mistakes, my failures, my history, my past, and all of this shown to them to help and to give them insight on their choices in life. The boys aren't even giving her a second thought. That's right. After what she did, they cannot understand how it was even okay to hit me, let alone speak to me in that manner. Little by little, the entire family is finding out. I think maybe it's just the drugs. Because you got to understand, people that deal with an addiction, whether it's alcohol or whether it's drugs, they turn into like a completely different person. They're angry. Like, I really think that it has to be the drugs, because you said she started drinking, she got on acid. So maybe it's nothing that happened. Maybe it is the drugs and the alcohol adding to that phase that you go through where your mama don't know anything and she's just an old hag. Because I wasn't an addict or addicted to none of that type of stuff, like alcohol, none of that. But I thought my mama was an old hag and she didn't know nothing. So I went through that stage, but it just wasn't as hard as me just saying, fuck everything. They cannot understand how she thought it was okay. Okay, I read that part. Finding out what she did, and cannot fathom how it got to this point when she could have left much more quietly than what occurred. She had endless moments, examples, situations from so many different people that no one understands how she even thinks anyone could speak to her after this. I've had people say, oh, you didn't take her out this world when she pulled that shit. The people blaming me for having her grow up so fast. I'm old as fuck, and other than my kids, my former nursing career are the most proud moments in my life. Now slowly more family and friends are finding out what she did, and it's leaving me to tell them or not, but to make it clear to not bring me up at all. She is trying to get me to go to jail or something. This is not the child I raised. This girl who says she has grown exhibited behavior that she herself has witnessed and said would never do. Never in my mind or even nightmares did I imagine my own and only daughter doing this to me so much. Now, I know personally, I know that you went through a lot, like with your ex-husband, like you went through a lot, and I know that she probably seen a lot of that. I don't know if she started using like drugs and stuff to cope with the things that she went through, because again, this person that I'm speaking to in this email is somebody that I know a little further than I know, some other people on here. Not saying I don't love everybody the same, I'm just saying I talk to this person a little more. So I don't know if maybe she just watched all of that, and then to cope with that, she started doing drugs and she started drinking, and then after that, it just led to her just acting out. Because I'm telling you, an addict is a person that you don't know. And I don't want you to blame yourself for the way that you raised her. My mama always says, and it makes me so mad because my mama always says, I could have been a better parent, I could have did this, I could have did that. I'm like, woman, you worked your ass off. Yeah, you was barely at home, but we ate, we were fine, like the bills were paid, it was completely fine, you did good. And I gave my mama the blues until I was about 26, 27. Now my mama is very proud of me, I know she is, but I gave my mama hell. I just did not deal with drugs and stuff, but I was really, really bad kid. Like, I even went to jail. I guess I was like 17 because my boyfriend, and then my mom was kind of like you. Like, my mama went through a really rough childhood. So bringing us up, she always wanted to be like a good mom. She didn't want to argue with us. She wanted to give us whatever. So my mom would let my boyfriend live with me. We got into it. Like, we used to fight really toxic. Like, fight. And my anger was really bad. Like, y'all, my anger used to be so bad. But, we had got into it and then he had left. So I jumped in my mom's truck because she had 2 vehicles. She was at work. I jumped in one of her vehicles. I tried to run him over and the police seen me. And then they came and arrested me. My mom was so upset. We got evicted out of that house. Like, when I say I showed my ass, I showed my ass. And I know y'all probably like, oh my God, I can't believe that. But I went through hell before I got to where I'm at now. And I put all that on myself. And it was just my mama putting her foot down saying, look, you're not going to do this. But at the same time, I knew that my mama loved me because my mom was always the only person that was there when I needed her. She was always going to be there. She always let me know she was going to be there. But whenever you decide to come back to my house, you're not going to do this, okay? So I feel like if your child is dealing with drugs, your child is dealing with alcohol, when the time comes that your child comes back, because clearly by this letter she's going to come back, try not to bring up the past. I don't know if y'all want to go to counseling together. Right now, the only thing you can do is not let it bother you. You know that you can't speak to her for a year. You cannot hold on to something that you can't control. Okay? Do not hold on to something that you can't control, even though that's your child. I'm telling you, I hear this all the time. Like, you don't understand. That's my baby. Like, yeah. I do understand. That's your mental. Okay, don't let nobody steal your peace, y'all. That's all we got in this world that we can control is our peace. And please don't let nobody steal it. Child, no child. Don't let nobody do it to you. So you know for a year you cannot talk to your child or whatever. I don't know if you want to get you some therapy, go through therapy to kind of see how to work with things. Me personally, I've never been to therapy because I just don't want to sit on somebody's couch and tell a complete stranger my business while I feel like they're judging me. I should have put on a better nightgown. But I don't know if you want to go through therapy. I say at this point right now, work on yourself. Do not let all of that bother you because that's going to reflect on your children. They're going to see everything, the children that you have at home, everything that you're going through. You're so stressed out over her that you forget to pay attention to them. Like, you can't control it. A year, by law, you cannot talk to her. Don't talk to her for a year. If she reaches out like screaming or whatever, stalking you and stuff, keep blocking. Block. Like, don't acknowledge anything, okay? And I know it's gonna be hard, but you have to maintain your peace, okay? I know that you're gonna worry, you're gonna want to know if she's okay. Like, I understand all that, but you have to maintain your peace. The time comes, she does come back, I would let her know, okay, you can come back, but guess what? We're getting into some kind of rehab. If you don't want to go to rehab, then we're not going to do it because you're not coming back here because obviously it's just bullshit and you want to stay here until you find somewhere else to go. Like, again, I'm not a person that has been to school to give you advice. A lot of people are not going to agree with shit that I said on here, but this is how my mama raised me. I went through this. I just wasn't crazy enough to put my hands on my mama because I knew I wanted to live again. I knew my mama beat that ass, you know? So, girl, just pray about it. I don't know if you're a person that believes in prayer, but I'm telling you, you got to pray about it. You just got to let it go. Let it go. When the time comes, it will come, especially if she has her own child. Like, the time is going to come. She's going to see that person for who they are. Hopefully that she doesn't get, like, really bad into drugs where there's no coming back from that. I just pray. But if she does decide to come back, be there with open arms, but at the same time, you're not going to deal with her stuff. I think that it's good that you don't want to talk to anybody else. Like, we're not bringing up my daughter. We're not going to talk about this. I think that that's great. But I don't know what else what other advice to give you. I asked that people in the comments drop your advice. Maybe you've went through the same thing. Maybe you want to drop your email down there and this person can email you and you can let them know what you did to fix the situation. Just to give them like a little more support to make them feel like they have people here. I'm sorry that it took so long for me to read this email because again, it's like my life is like a buffet. I go, I fill up my fucking plate, and my eyes are bigger than my stomach. And then I'm just sitting there thinking, like, how am I going to eat this? Because y'all know Chinese people charge you extra if you waste your food. Okay? And I don't know. That just came out of nowhere. But that's my advice. Like, I want you to know I love you. I'm here. If you need somebody to talk to, I'll be here. You can always call me. You have my number. You have my email. Always here. I don't have the correct answers. I didn't go to school for this. I like to keep saying that 1,022 times because I don't want to be in nobody's courtroom because I'm telling you, I'm going to act a donkey. Okay? And then when we come out there, me and you got to square up. Like we fighting at the courthouse because I told you this in my video that I was not an expert. So again, thank y'all for watching. I'm at like 45 minutes. So y'all probably been here a really long time. Your ass is probably hurting. Let's all take a bathroom break and then we'll regroup and come back in like a week or so. Okay? Love y'all. Thanks for all the support.